Jeez. I swear. Having one of these days, folks. Let's keep cracking. Let's bang it out. Let me make sure I'm still alive. Oh, come on. What's going on? Hmm. Getting tired of these oddball streams. Yeah. Oh boy. Let's see what we have here. I swear to God. Uh, Hang tight, folks. I'm getting things fixed. I should be back online, but I got to make sure people know where the actual live stream is at. But mainly, folks, what it has to deal with is that the PEP wave, I actually had it on in order to get the SIM card backup chip because I'm cutting off that service there. The Mint Mobile is running pretty much everything now, and that'll save me about $103 a month. I've been paying $110, and I'm just gonna get a $7 backup card for it in case shit happens. Basically, 1 GB is enough to work 1 day of service, and I can always switch it up there. But folks, I am not going to pay $110 for nothing. I'm centralizing work operations at this point in time. We're getting to the basics. And speaking of the basics, folks, welcome to the show. Sorry for the funky startup, but that's it's stuff. It happens here. So let's see what we got on the mix today. Let's see what we got. Well, I better put back up my sticky note in case someone wants to donate. Where is my other one anyway? Alright, we got that here. And then we're going to cut in and see. Check the fly paper, see what's sticking. The show is 1 hour tonight. Midnight Run returns tomorrow. We're going to have a good time. In fact, we're going to have a great time. Got my shave in, got my head bald and everything. We looking good. What's up, Matt? Matt, we had a couple of internet issues, and mainly it has to deal with me. I had to retest the Ethernet connection. because I'm putting it on backup from now on. The Mint Mobile, I'm paying $30 a month for that. And I'm not only able to remotely work at home, but I'm able to appropriately run the live stream. They have I don't know what Verizon did out in these lines itself, but they've screwed everything up. Everything. And it's just not funny at all. So I'm not going to spend $110 anymore. No, we're just not going to do it anymore. If you're going to be screwing with my service. What's up, Raw Food? How you been? What you up to? So let's see who's doing what. People still talking about Sulik. But folks, get your questions in while I get things figured out a little bit. That's awesome, Matt. That's a good lift right there. 545. You know, the key is not just the lifting of the weight there. It's just actually consistency. And people have actually asked me, how did I get so big? Eat, sleep, and grow. But the biggest thing, but there should be a number 4, and that's consistently. Because you can do all 3, but if you're not doing it consistently, then you're not getting yourself anywhere. I mean, that's the magic formula, folks. Consistency. I don't care what anyone says. Man, there's a lot of stupid things on the internet today. But folks, get your questions in. Wish to make a donation, you can. Smash the like button. We're only going to run it for about an hour because there's not really much to report on per se. There's not been much happening. I mean, we already got the John Bravo stuff taken care of on Tuesday. It's just been a slow news day, really, to be honest with you. When's the last time I've seen my honorary tan? Oh, she be alright. Don't worry about her, she be alright. A strong man at my gym told me that I can do 575 for 5. I should be able to pull 675 or 7 plates. That sounds about right, though. But probably only one time. But if you're going to do that, I would add 50 first, and then I would add another 50, Matt. I wouldn't try to immediately tackle an extra 100 pounds. You need to work into that. Because you can't pull your back out. No, she didn't leave me. I said she be alright. Look, folks, we're adults. I can't go. We don't go and coddle over each other. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. Too much coddling. I must be getting a bad signal here or something. I already know it's that Ethernet. I need to unplug that damn thing. In fact, oh, that's disabled now. Not in the same day, of course. It would be just a good gauge. Yeah, and one other thing you got to consider, Matt. You know, what if you do pull 675, then what? 575 is impressive there, but you have to understand, are your goals to be a power lifter or to be a bodybuilder or to carve out? If you're trying to be a power lifter, then by all means and sling the weight though. But you can't train like a power lifter and expect to be a bodybuilder. If you want to look like a bodybuilder, you got to train like a bodybuilder. If you want to look like a power lifter, you got to train like a power lifter. You also got to eat the same there. They're two different practices. They have different set of rules. All right, my boy, my nigga. Then in that case, yeah, do what that other powerlifter said. Drop 50 and then put another 50 on there. So you should be able to get 675 for 1 or 2 reps if you're doing that much. Yeah, it's going to cut out in and out because I still got that thing plugged in. If I unplug it now, it's going to cancel the stream like it did previously. But yeah, I'm retiring the Pep Wave. I don't need that anymore. But you know what? It's amazing that technology that I bought, top of the line technology from 3 years ago, is now, it's not obsolete or anything. It's just that the device that I have here accomplishes the exact same thing for less money. Because folks, when COVID happened, I would have to pay $100 a month for 50 gigabytes of hotspot data. That was 6 years ago. Whenever we all got sent home. And now, with these home internet devices, the speed's fine. You can work remotely at home and you ain't got to spend much money. So I am upgrading. Oh, be quiet, raw food. You're not even making any damn bit of sense. But folks, get your questions in. If you wish to make a donation, you can smash the like button. Like I said, we're just chilling out today. I don't really have a game plan. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I got nothing today, folks. Nothing to review. Nothing. It has just been a dead day. I know John Bolton is about to plead guilty. That's about it. Well, Frank Tufano does have 3 shorts, so maybe we can do that. That would be a good idea. Let's see what we got here.
If you are considering getting plastic surgery, you need to go to Real Self and read.
No, because Real Self is still doing the same stuff that these other review platforms are. They are taking bribes from doctors and removing negative.
They're not bribes, they're paid ads.
Reviews. And I have multiple lawsuits against these people. The main lawsuit is against Google, Real Self, Yelp, all these review platforms, and it's because of what she said later in this video. If she had seen the negative reviews of the doctor, which are now there for her doctor on Real Self, and my assumption is that they just didn't write a big enough check to Real Self. That's what it is. I think it's actually a considerable amount of money. They probably charge them like a few $1,000s per review. And these arrogant doctors are still so busy and overbooked that they don't care. But, you know, one day their time will come, and whether it's on this planet or not, their lesson will be learned. But this plastic surgery industry really needs to be exposed more. It's
You're right, it does need to be exposed, but not by you. But folks, I'm going to tell you this right now. There wouldn't be a plastic surgery business if people were simply happy with themselves. Now, if you got breast cancer and you need a mastectomy, that's one reason you would need cosmetic surgery for. If you had just lost a massive amount of weight from like gastric bypass surgery, then yes, cosmetic surgery would be suitable. But beyond that, any type of cosmetic surgery for vanity purposes, such as what Frank Tufano has, because he had no medical reason to get eye surgery to begin with. It was a vanity issue. And folks, vanity will get you in a serious amount of trouble. But Matt, that's a good idea. I'm going to check Fuentes' page. I'm going to play these other Tufano ones first.
You need to put a mask on, please.
Oh, yeah.
And
a lot of people would agree that clavicular might be an industry plant, but this shocked me. I didn't think they would make it this obvious, like him doing live streams with Dr. Miami to promote him, and then even undergoing surgery with Dr. Miami. It goes to show how clueless and how psychotic.
You know, that doctor has to be pretty confident in their skills here as far as doing a nose job live. I mean, what if clavicular died? I mean, that would be the end of the business.
These lunatics are. They think putting this kid on live stream and doing a nose job is going to make this doctor a lot of money. I mean, wrong audience, dude. Wrong audience. You're trying to get a bunch of young boys to do nose jobs. And if you look at Clavicular's nose before, there is no scenario that his nose will look better after surgery. I mean, from choice of surgeon to choice of surgeries, this made zero sense to me. He must have gotten paid a lot of money, some crazy stuff.
Shut up, fool. He actually got the limb lengthening surgery. What a moron.
I don't know why this is on my For You page, but I'll give my 2 cents. So there's 3 possibilities in my mind. One, the wealthy lunatics that own Brandy Melville are so rich and arrogant that they think these stupid girls that buy their products will continue to take abuse from them and buy their clothing regardless. That's the first possibility. The second is that there's hidden cameras, like some conspiracy theory that they're selling footage of young girls to rich billionaires or just inside members of the club, whatever. And the third is that these other companies, I'm making up words today, aren't doing so well. so that they kind of said, hey, Brandy Melville, do some crazy stuff so we can get some business back. And what got me thinking that is there's people in the comments telling people to go to Paxson. So maybe Paxson wrote a check to Brandy Melville to do this publicity stunt. I don't know. Those are my 3 theories. Whatever.
Your theories suck! Fact of the matter is, everyone likes to wag their dick for social media views. All right, let's check out Fuentes's page. I don't need the... fucking hell. I'm checking his page right now. Doesn't look like much, really. I mean, most of his stuff is on Rumble, so let's check Rumble. But then we're going to check out where maybe we could find the Fuentes stuff. Ooh, this one's juicy. I may have found something here. I'm going to skip around.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Henry Nowak murder from yesterday. So I'm sure you guys have all seen the viral body cam footage. You've seen the viral image of the 18-year-old student in the United Kingdom who was stabbed to death by an Indian Sikh and who was arrested by police for racism as he lay on the street bleeding to death. We covered it last night. And
yeah, that's got to be pretty horrible, folks. The last thoughts in this world is you in handcuffs, dying. You're dying and you're in handcuffs. That's the worst way possible to leave the world. In handcuffs, dying after when you were murdered. That is just fucked up. And he was trying to tell him that he was stabbed, and they didn't even believe him. God, what an awful story.
as I said last night, this is an allegory for Western civilization. It's an allegory for Europe, for white civilization, for Christendom. It's an
as bad as it is now. Easy there, Judge Roy Bean. Jesus Christ. You can't throw the baby out the water.
allegory for everything that is happening to us, to our people. Specifically, which essential attributes of the story? Well, one, we have these foreigners here, and they are killing us. But more importantly, two, and this is the vital aspect, is that ordinarily we would resist, we would fight back, we would defend ourselves. But the important part, which makes it an allegory and not merely a metaphor, is that we are being restrained. We are being arrested.
Oh, no, Matt. This definitely wasn't the white George Floyd. What happened to him was really effed up. I mean, really. You know, you're dying, and rather than them arresting the person that stabbed you intentionally, you get put in handcuffs. That's a bad way to leave the world.
That is the point. We are not only being murdered and invaded and assaulted and degraded in our own country, but we are literally being arrested. We are literally being restrained so that we can't do anything about it. And it is being inflicted upon us by our own people, by our own governments. The government plays a very essential role in this. It is enforced by the government that we are disarmed. It is enforced by government that we are helpless and vulnerable.
The government is ran by white people, all right? Heck, after this upcoming election, there's not going to be any Negroes in there, hardly. I mean, we're only going to have one black senator. That's that ugly yuck mouth Tim Scott, my senator, unfortunately. That's from South Carolina. But, you know, the government that Nick Fuentes is complaining about is a white government, you know. So for him, it makes no bit of sense.
Vulnerable. Because think about it. Even in the United Kingdom, it's not a level playing field. The white people are disarmed, can't carry guns, can't carry knives. The immigrants can. The Sikhs have a carve-out where they can carry a knife. It is enforced by the law that they have an advantage over us. We do not have that advantage. If we get in a fight, if we get assaulted, if, God forbid, you get stabbed, the police come and arrest the dying person. Maybe you would have gotten attended to by an ambulance. Maybe you would have fled and escaped. The police hold you down to ensure that you die. This is the role the government plays.
No, you see, this is where he's exaggerating bullshit. You know, it was one definitely remote solitary incident, not an analog. It's not the status quo, and you know better than that, you goof.
Because the government opened the borders, the government passes the DEI and civil rights laws, the government is enforcing the hate speech laws and the censorship.
The government is white, just like you, all right? You're claiming white racism from white people. You're claiming that you're discriminated against by other white people. Because Lord knows it ain't by a black person. Because there's hardly any black people in office at this point in time.
And the rest of it. And when you think about it, on the civilizational scale, how are they arresting us? How are they restraining us? The immune response to the non-white invasion is that white people would get together and kick these fucking people out. That is the obvious. White people would see other white people being shot and stabbed and assaulted and hurt. They'd see their daughters being raped, their sons being murdered. They would see their property being stolen, and white people would get together and say, enough of these fucking people. We would get armed, we would get organized, we would form militias, we would take matters into our own hands, or we'd go to the government, and as a matter of policy, we would get these people out. But it's the obvious.
But you already did that. It's called January 6th.
White people would see other white people being shot and stabbed and assaulted and hurt. They'd see their daughters being raped, their sons being murdered. They would see their property being stolen, and white people would get together and say, enough of these fucking people. We would get armed, we would get organized, we would form militias, we would take matters into our own hands, or we'd go to the government, and as a matter of policy, we would get these people out. But understand, we are not allowed to do that, because if white people form a militia, the FBI goes in and gets everybody arrested for terrorism.
That is not true at all. There are state militias there, pal, that are authorized by the United States government. What you're talking about is these fringe far-right groups, but, you know, even the new Black Panther Party is infiltrated. I mean, seriously.
White people arm themselves, you get arrested because you don't meet all the legal requirements for carrying or owning the firearm, or it's the wrong type of firearm or magazine or something like that. If you try to express your opinion about these matters in the public square, you are censored as a white person. You're fired from your job. You're ostracized. We are restrained at the civilizational level from the immune response, from responding to the problem. Tell me I'm wrong. Black people can form ethnic interest organizations, the NAACP. Black people can form militias. They can arm themselves and do big public demonstrations with rifles. They can go and carry out acts of violence. They can act as community.
I mean, if we did, I would let you know.
Getting together as a group is like a technology. Identity politics, one way to think about it is it's a military technology. If you can get a group of people to arm up together as a group on the basis of race or ideology or religion, you have a military advantage over the group that does not have that stick-togetherness. You can mobilize more numbers. You can mobilize more soldiers. They can't. Who's going to win? The group that figured out how to work together, or the group of individuals that don't believe in blood guilt and believe everybody will be judged according to their individual actions? Well, the group is going to win. So to tell white people, hey man, we can't succumb to blood guilt. Hey man, we can't believe in identity politics. We can't do what they did. That's the wrong way to go. You are ensuring that white people
Will not be exterminated, folks. No, no, no. Nobody, no race is going to be exterminated. Just take a chill pill, all right? I mean, he's spouting the typical stuff, the white replacement theory and stuff. It just doesn't exist. The U.S. government is, majority of it is ran by white people, you know. The vast majority of wealth in this country is by white people, all right? We ain't taking over shit, all right? Nothing.
because white people will be having debates and discussions about fairness and propriety, while non-white people simply load up on guns and knives. They're going to be having more kids. They're going to be sharpening their blades. They're going to be loading up their rifles. While we're sitting around
The great one is not loading up any goddamn rifles. Nope.
having a debate about, what's going to be actually the just and proper and moral way to deal with this problem. We can't give over ourselves to blood guilt, they say. So this is a real issue. And by the way, Tucker Carlson is a Republican operative, okay? He wants J.D. Vance to become the president. How are Republicans going to win an election? Well, for Republicans to win the election, they need to appeal to Indians and Hispanics and Jewish money and all these other groups. So what I mean by this is Tucker is not thinking about white survival. Tucker is thinking about what is required for us to win enough votes in like Pennsylvania. You understand the difference? I am thinking ahead to 2050 when we are a minority. I am thinking ahead to 2100 when we're a minority everywhere. He is thinking ahead to the next election where
You're not even going to be well, I guess he might be alive in 2100, but the great one, I'll be in the ground, hard in the ground by the year 2100. All right, folks. I'm 49 years old. I could care less in about 12 years, folks, and I do mean 12 years, or 12 and a half years, folks, I'll be eligible to get Social Security if it's still around. I don't care what's going to happen in 2100. The year 2100 is 74 fucking years away. I'm not going to be around for another 74 years. All right? At most, I'll probably be around another 50 years. I have to look at my mama and my Uncle George. He died at like 89, and stuff. So I got to be looking at that point in time. The great one probably only has 40 years left Hopefully, Lord willing, I get that 40 years. If not, it is what it is, and what is going to be is what is going to be. But God damn it, I am not going to worry about what's going to happen in the year 2100, okay? You want to know why? Because it ain't my problem, all right? My job is to deal with problems today in 2026, all right? My thing is already dealt with the problem in 2000. All right. It's like right now today, 2026, people are arguing about why is there a Pride Month? All right. People arguing between celebrate Pride Month, don't celebrate Pride Month, and stuff like that. In my day, we didn't have a Pride Month. We had fucking AIDS. All right. No Pride Month. We just had AIDS back in my day. All right. AIDS for breakfast, AIDS for lunch, AIDS for dinner, just AIDS, 7 days a week. You want to know why? Because you couldn't think of anything else other than freaking AIDS, all right? We had some serious issues back then. We had AIDS. AIDS! All right? People be asking, hey, what time is it? AIDS! People ask, did you hear about the AIDS? People be like, what are you doing this weekend? AIDS! That's what my generation had. We had AIDS, all right? Now we don't have AIDS. We have medication and stuff like that where people don't get AIDS. So we can actually think of things such as a gay pride month and stuff like that, But in my day, we had AIDS, all right? That's all the fuck we had. Y'all want to go and cry about this here? Who cares? Celebrate the month that you want to celebrate, but it is not something to go to war over. All right? I don't care. All right? We've already had our problems. Nick Fuentes is talking about the year 2100. He probably ain't gonna be around in 2100. Stupid son of a bitch.
We can't play too hard into the white identity politics because we can't alienate everybody else, because then they might not vote for our candidate or something. And it's problematic. This is like a Pied Piper effect. And you can't tell me, well, hey man, maybe Tucker is just hiding his power levels. Maybe he understands this, but he needs to be careful about what he says. He's concealing it. Understand that Tucker is going in the New York Times, and he's not saying, that's not for me, those are not my beliefs. Tucker went in the New York Times a few weeks ago and said Nick Fuentes is working for the elites because he's pushing white identity politics. In other words, he is deliberately going out of his way to delegitimize and discredit anybody who's talking like this.
He's on your side, you moron. He just doesn't like you.
So it's not like he's passively omitting these things. It's not like he's going on a show and he's leading you to the right conclusions without saying them explicitly. He's sort of passively omitting this part, which is a little edgier and a little more controversial. Because if he was doing that, maybe he could be excused and forgiven. No, he goes on his show repeatedly and says, white identity politics is evil. It is as bad as any other identity politics. It is the most dangerous thing we could do. He says, and anyone promoting it like Nick Fuentes is a distraction. Don't listen to them. They're working for the elites because they're dividing us. Those are not the real issues. What are the real issues, he says? Taxes. He says, why are investments taxed at a lower rate than income? Why is work taxed more than financial speculation? He says that's the real issue. And if you're talking about race, religion, immigration from a racial point of view, well, that's...
Well, race has always been an issue for black folks because we're a minority. You are a majority. In terms of race is concerned, truth of the matter is there's not a problem for you. You just perceive that there's a problem.
Just a divide and conquer strategy. Well, you know what? That sounds like Hassan Piker. That sounds like some serious workers of the world unite bullshit. Forget about race, forget about nationality, forget about religion. It's all about we're the working class. Why are us working people being taxed so much? Sorry, I don't have anything in common with these other people that live on welfare. What do I have in common with these non-white immigrants that come here and they stop voting Republican because we're deporting too many illegals? I have nothing in common with them. I don't care what their income strata is. We have nothing in common. Culture is real. Race is real. Nationality is real. White genocide is real. We are really in a civilizational struggle here.
Oh boy, there is no genocide, folks. Sometimes Nick Fuentes is the white George Floyd. If you want to ask me, there, Matthew, Matt. I mean, literally speaking, we got to get rid of people like Nick Fuentes. It's like sky. It's like he's up there saying the sky is falling. White people are doing fine. Black people are doing fine. Everyone is doing fine. All right. This country, we're one of the wealthiest countries in the world. You go over to Africa, you go to Romania, or anywhere else, even Britain, they ain't got shit. In England, you don't even have freedom of speech, neither. We are in the wealthiest country. I got 2 freaking TVs. I got a computer. I have a house full of stuff. If I was in Africa, I wouldn't even have a freaking hut. I would have a hut and a loincloth, and that's it, and a spear. A spear. Even if I lived in the modern African cities, couldn't afford it. All right? Couldn't afford it. That's for the expats. That's for tourists. All right? Niggas can't afford anything there. All right? Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is here. All right? We're doing perfectly fine in the U.S. We don't really have any problems, all right? Because I don't measure things as far as the way things are, as far as the status quo. I look at every other country and see how they're doing. Because at the end of the day, folks, you may think you got it bad, but just remember, somebody got it way worse than you do. Okay? Let me say that again. No matter how bad you think something is, you no matter how bad you think your life is, believe me, somebody else's life is even more effed up. And some people's life starts really getting effed up too, Oh God, Look at Kyle Busch. Won all those races and stuff, and he dies of pneumonia. All right? Pneumonia. Only 41 years old. Doesn't get to enjoy the fruits of his labors, He doesn't get an opportunity to retire and enjoy the rest of his life. There's no riding. He didn't get a chance to ride off into the sunset. This is exactly why I told people, there's no such thing as real longevity in life. You want to preserve your life by exercising and dieting and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, folks, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. If you're under me, then you're doing better than great. Believe me. You are getting the best colonoscopy you could possibly get, and you're not having to pay for it. Period. Non-negotiable. But I will tell you right now, this country is doing great. All right. And the problem with people here is that we whine too goddamn much. We cry and we whine about the most silliest things. And right now we're whining about Pride Month. Celebrate the month that you wish to celebrate. In fact, let's do this here. Let's see. Let's check a look at every other topic for national months here, okay? Now, as far as months are concerned, I'm going to read off all this shit, all right? Y'all check this out. This is what's called the national months for June, all right? June is Pride Month, but it's also National Safety Month. It's Men's Health Month. It is National PTSD Awareness Month. And of course, we got Pride Month. It's also National Great Outdoors Month. It's also National Candy Month. It's also National Pollinators Month. It's also National Adopt a Fucking Cat Month. Alright? It's also National Home Ownership Month. And guess what? It's National Iced Tea Month. I'm not done here, folks. The great one ain't done yet. So y'all listen up. It is also National Caribbean American Heritage Month. It is National Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Month. It is National Country Cooking Month. It is National Camping Month. It is National Migraine and Headache Awareness Month. It is National Zoo and Aquarium